Welcome to another series of the Licenta exam preparation videos. I hope all of you are doing okie dokie today. In this video, we are going to discuss about tropical cyclone equations. But before we do that, we're gonna know what tropical cyclone means. There are actually 5 categories where you will encounter questions from concerning maneuvers, location of semicircles, definition of semicircles, if condition questions, and the rotation of the wind questions. But before you answer these questions correctly, you need to know a few things about tropical cyclone. Tropical cyclone is a large storm rotating around an area of very low pressure with strong winds blowing around the center that develops over the tropical or subtropical waters. It is called hurricanes in the Atlantic, Eastern Pacific Oceans. It's called typhoons in Western Pacific, cyclones in Indian Ocean, baguias in Philippines Island, and Willy Willy in Australia. Here is an image of Cyclone Jasmine. It was formed on 1st February 2012 and dissipated on the 16th of February 2012. Here is how hurricane looks like in real life. And also, you need to know the 2 semicircles of a tropical cyclone. First, the dangerous semicircle, and second, the navigable semicircle. Attached to that, you need to know cyclone track, the cyclone path, the cyclone eye, and the trough line. If you are able to know these things about tropical cyclone, it will be very easy for you to solve any equation concerning tropical cyclone. Let's still check out what we have here. In this diagram, we have the dangerous semicircle and we have the navigable semicircle with green arrows turning counterclockwise and with red arrows at the dangerous semicircle turning counterclockwise. Also, you have the cyclone track. This is the cyclone track. You have the path of the cyclone heading upward, and right of the path you have the dangerous semicircle, and the left of the path you have the navigable semicircle. And these circles you have, it's called the cyclone trough line, and the area with the purple color, it's called the cyclone high. So these are the things you need to know about a tropical cyclone. And few more things. You need to know that winds tend to blow from an area of high pressure to one of low pressure. But due to the rotation of the earth, wind is deflected toward the right in the northern hemisphere and towards the left in the southern hemisphere. It's a key thing you need to know. And also, factors that influence wind are the pressure gradient force, the Coriolis force, and the friction. Actually, the pressure gradient force is the primary driving force of wind that results from pressure changes over a given distance. In the next slide, we are going to show you some area changes in pressures. And Coriolis force produces deviation in the path of wind due to the Earth's rotation to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. Also, friction causes an influence on the wind movement. So in this diagram, we have the northern hemisphere and we have the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, air flows counterclockwise, and in the southern hemisphere, air flows clockwise. But why? You see the diagram? In the middle of the circles, you have low pressure in the northern hemisphere. In the middle of the circle, you have high pressure in the southern hemisphere. Let's take the northern hemisphere for example. This is the wind. The Coriolis force deflects the wind to the right of the path. And for the pressure gradient force, you can see that in this middle, you have 1004 millibars. You have the low pressure area. As it goes out, the pressure increases to 1008 millibars. and to 1012 millibars. From the previous definition, wind tends to blow from a high pressure area. So outside here the pressure is very high. It tends to blow towards a low pressure area. So that is how wind blows. And in the southern hemisphere, you can see that in the middle you have high pressure area, and going out the pressure decreases. Here we have 1024 millibars, and going out we have 1020 millibars and 1016 millibars. So air tends to flow from high pressure area then towards the low pressure areas. In the northern hemisphere it is called cyclonic flow, and in the southern hemisphere it is called anticyclonic flow. So this is what you need to know. Always remember, air tends to flow from high pressure area to low pressure area, and the Coriolis force deflects air to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. So if you are able to know this diagram with a few things I explained earlier, you will be able to solve any question in the Licenta exam very well. So in tropical cyclone, we have questions coming out from maneuvers, location of semicircles, definition of semicircles, if conditions, rotation of wind. In the next video, we are going to deal with the questions concerning maneuvers. So please just be on track, and we are going to solve them, explain them very well for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you in the next video.